All right, class, welcome. This is chapter 3, section 1, and here's your Desmos version of how to solve a quadratic equation by graphing. Now, it should actually be familiar with some of the stuff that we've done in the previous chapters, but I want to make sure it's in one place for you to know what to do. So go ahead to desmos.com, and I'll share my screen with you. And turn your textbooks to page 94. I'm going to do number 1, you're going to do number 2, and then I'm going to do number 3. Simple as that. All right. So first we need to make sure that the equation's on one side of the equal sign and there is a 0 on the other side of the equal sign. And then we'll type in y equals, instead of 0 equals x squared minus 8x plus 12. So here is this parabola. We want to know when y is equal to 0. That's what the whole equals 0 thing is, right? It's on one side of the equation. So when y is equal to 0, we're looking at the x-axis. And that means that we're going to find the x-intercepts to find the solutions. The x-intercepts are the solutions to the equation, and they are 2, 0 and 6, 0. Now, if you're asked to solve the equation, you can say x equals 2 and x equals 6. Those are your two answers. If you're asked to find the x-intercepts, you will have to write 2, 0 and 6, 0 because those are points. X-intercepts are points. The solutions are x equals 2 and x equals 6. All right, so we type it in, we make sure it says y equals, and then the appropriate coefficients to all the variables, and the constant has the right sign, and then we look for the x-intercepts, and we make sure we're answering the directions. The directions here say solve the equation. We can say x equals 2 and x equals 6. Okay, you are going to go ahead and type in number 2 into Desmos, and if this is an ed puzzle, you're going to answer it now. And we should be back with number 3. Number 3 is not set up appropriately. So we need to make sure we get y equals on one side. So I don't really like leaving coefficients with a negative. So I'm going to keep the 1/2 x squared on that side. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take away 6x from both sides and add 20. You need to write it out, you should write it out. We're going to take away 6x and we're going to add 20 to both sides. What happens when we do that? We're going to get 1/2 x squared minus 6x plus 20 equals 0. Now notice I still wrote it y equals 1/2 x squared minus 6x plus 20. I took away 6x, I added 20. All right, so now we want to find the solutions by graphing. So here I graphed. Remember, we're looking for the x-intercepts. Are there any x-intercepts? The answer is no. So this equation has no real solutions. No real solutions, and that's what you write. All right, that's graphing. You'll have some practice problems on graphing, and we'll talk more about it together.